So after Kevin Feige and the MCU tried so hard to get Brie Larson to be the star of the MCU, to get Brie Larson to be the face of the MCU, Brie Larson is just too unlikable to be the face of anything, of any successful franchise in Hollywood, and Kevin Feige and the MCU and Disney have finally realized that that's the case, that Brie Larson is just not capable of being the face of anything if you want your brand to be likable. And it's not just Brie Larson's fault that this brand is extremely unlikable. It's not just Brie Larson's fault that this entire Disney brand, not only the Disney brand though, but the MCU has gone extremely downhill in their favor with the fans, has gone extremely downhill in the quality of the content that they're putting out. It's not Brie Larson's fault, but she is a big part of it. You know, there's no doubt about it. And Kevin Feige can see that. But also, I think another big reason why Brie Larson is being phased out of the MCU and not being the face of the MCU anymore is because she's just not enough of a minority. Kamala Khan fits the bill a lot better. We know that Kevin Feige doesn't really like white people too much. You know, he edited out Doctor Strange from the WandaVision finale. Obviously, very bad job of editing him out because you could still see his shadow flying across the screen. And they asked him why they edited Doctor Strange out of that scene. And he said because he didn't want another white male to come save the day. He makes it very obvious that he doesn't like certain demographics of people. I think a few years ago, Brie Larson was enough of a minority with just being a woman, or, you know, I guess not really a minority, but an oppressed group. She's a part of an oppressed group of women. But that's not enough anymore. You can't just be a white woman. You have to be a minority woman. And that's what Kamala Khan is. So I think that's the main reason why she's being phased out of the MCU. Who cares why it is? It's a victory regardless. I don't watch this stuff anymore. You know, I used to make videos on Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. I don't watch this stuff anymore, but I'm here for the chaos. I'm here to see people like Brie Larson, absolute garbage humans like Brie Larson, and like Kevin Feige, completely fail. That's what I'm here for. I want to see Disney fall. I want to see the MCU fall. I want to see Star Wars fall. And it's not like we have to do anything to make it happen. They're doing it themselves. Just 4 years after stating that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel would take the lead and be at the forefront of the entire MCU, Kevin Feige is now claiming that Kamala Khan is going to steal the show in the sequel to Captain Marvel, The Marvels. And they've delayed this movie a million times, it feels like. This movie should have came out like at least a year ago, and they just delayed it again. They just pushed back the release date again. I think they know it's going to flop. The only reason why Captain Marvel 1 didn't flop is because it was sandwiched in between Infinity War and Endgame, and they teased Captain Marvel, the movie, at the end of Infinity War in the post-credit scene. That's the only reason why the first one didn't flop. And, you know, Brie Larson is just probably one of the most unlikable people on the planet. Like, everybody knows this by now. I'm not telling you any new information. She's probably, you know, outside of her acting and her real personality, one of the most unlikable people on the face of the earth. And she just makes it worse whenever people ask her about political issues or social issues or anything like that. She just makes it 10 times worse because her takes are god-awful. I don't know if you know, you might not remember this one, but when she was giving a speech for one of the movies, I forget which one it is all the time, one of the movies that she put out, that she starred in, she literally said it wasn't made for old white men. She said that. In blatant, like, she said the quiet part loud, as they like to say. You know, so she's just extremely unlikable. It would make sense why she's not the face of the MCU. But like I said, I think it's more to do with just like her skin color than anything. Because Kevin Feige, for some reason, doesn't like white people. If he's being serious about not wanting Doctor Strange to come in and save the day because he's another white man coming to save the day, Kevin Feige, I think, should step down from being the head of the MCU, from being the studio head for Marvel. Wouldn't that make just a lot of sense? You know, if he didn't want another white man coming to save the day, why not step down and give it the job to a minority woman? Wouldn't that make sense? I don't know. It seems pretty hypocritical to me. Back in 2019, Feige said, one of the highlights of my career at Marvel was introducing Brie Larson at Comic-Con and having her come out on stage and stand there with literally almost everybody else from our movies. He added, there she was at the forefront, and it was a great foreshadowing, not just for how audiences are going to embrace Brie as the character, but also how Captain Marvel is going to take the lead and be at the forefront of this entire cinematic universe. Audiences are going to embrace Brie Larson as this character. Even people that I know who are MCU bots, who I know in real life and online, who are MCU bots, they just love Marvel still, for some reason, even after they release horrible movie after horrible movie. Even people who I know are Marvel bots hate Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I don't know a single person that's like defending Brie Larson as Captain Marvel whenever you try to talk trash about her. Not a single person. I've never met them. In the comments, I'm sure there will be some, because there always is whenever I make a Brie Larson video. There's always people telling me how great of a person Brie Larson is and how I just can't see the greatness within Brie Larson, the actress and, the person. It's not real. Those are bots. However, it doesn't appear that Larson's Captain Marvel will be at the forefront of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, let alone the sequel to her Captain Marvel film. Feige recently told Entertainment Weekly, "I'm very proud of the Miss Marvel show. I also know, this is a spoiler, she essentially steals the Marvels, which is coming out in July 28th. Not only did he claim that she will steal the show in the movie, but he's seemingly pointing out the lack of viewership for the Disney Plus shows, as he's hoping people will go see the shows after viewing the film. It makes me excited that people will, I hope, see that movie and then go back to revisit those shows on Disney Plus. They're not going to. For one, people aren't going to see this movie. I wouldn't be shocked if it didn't hit $1 billion. I think it'll probably make like 700 million, maybe 650 million. Nobody cares about this, dude. Nobody cares about this. The only people who care about the Marvels is Brie Larson bots. And if Brie Larson's not even going to be the star of the movie, then the Brie Larson bots aren't even going to see it, dude. This movie's going to flop so hard. The entire MCU is going downhill. And like I said, I love to see it. I'm here for the chaos. All of Hollywood is trash, in my opinion. There's like 2 shows that I actually like watching. One of them is Last Kingdom, which is over. I'm looking forward to the movie. But Last Kingdom is one of my favorite shows of all time. And then Invincible. That's really the only 2 shows that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like looking forward to their next releases. The rest of them, they all suck, dude. So I'm here for the chaos. That's it. I don't care about Hollywood anymore. I want it all to burn. Let it all burn. The fun thing about streaming is they're there forever and people can keep re-exploring them. Yeah, it's so fun, dude. I can't wait to go re-explore Miss Marvel. Later in the interview, Feige would be asked about the dynamic between Larson, Iman Vellani, Kamala Khan, and Tiana Paris's Monica Rambeau. He responded, "What the entire movie is about, there are fun cosmic elements to it. Marvel, I don't really care what the movie's about, man. I really couldn't care less about anything on the planet than what the Marvels is about. I just don't care anymore. And I don't understand how anyone can care. But I do like to see Brie Larson get phased out of the MCU. Not because I think it's going to make the MCU any better, because they're just going to put Kamala Khan there, probably make her just as unlikable as Brie Larson was, and, just continue to run the MCU into the ground. There's nothing that we can do to stop it, though. For the longest time, I thought that making these types of videos where I'm like calling out the MCU's faults and everybody else who does the same thing, maybe they'll listen. Maybe we're fighting the good fight. Maybe we can turn Hollywood around, save the MCU, save Star Wars, whatever it is, save Brie Larson even. And then over time, I just started to realize, like, for one, it's just unimportant to try to change Marvel. Like, it's just not an important issue in the world. There's a lot more important things going on. And for two, it's never going to work because for whatever reason, they're just disregarding the money that they could make if they just made good content. And we see that, every once in a while we see it with like Top Gun Maverick, stuff like that, where if you just make a good movie, a good fun movie, people are going to go watch. But, they'd rather give up on the money. They'd rather run the MCU into the ground by putting people like Brie Larson and Kamala Khan in charge. Just forego the money in order to push certain political agendas. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But I'm sure people like Brie Larson and the Brie Larson fans absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Brie Larson getting phased out of the MCU. Let me know what you think about Kevin Feige and his comments about Brie Larson and the Marvels. Let me know if you're going to go see the Marvels. I'm definitely not. I can tell you that. I'm not going to see any MCU projects. Probably forever. I don't really care about any of them anymore. Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole situation. Hope you leave a like on the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you in the next one.